Hey yo, this is your girl Melanin Audacity, and thank you for tuning in to the Master Elements Podcast.
Smash the elements. 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 Smash the elements.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough of him.
R.I.P.
But rest in peace, John Lewis. Rest in peace. So you also have another article.
What's that?
Mayors back reparations that could cost 6.2 quadrillion.
Okay, that's the reparations pump fakes that we're talking about.
Yep. So we can get into that, and then that's the show.
No
This will
doubt,
be our
no
last
doubt.
topic for tonight.
All right.
You want me to bring this article up, right?
Yeah, you can bring that up. There's two of them there. Two different stories. RP, you want to do this one, man? You was a little quiet over there.
You could set it off. I mean, because I didn't see this one. I got the Lloyd's of London and the Ti
Okay,
article.
okay. No doubt, no doubt.
Okay, we can mix it all together.
Yeah.
So let me bring us back, and then I'll come back to this if you want to run up to the article. So Ti, I have been seeing some videos. I haven't watched them. It looking like his barber is on vacation.
Oh yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Got
But
that.
he out here in these streets. But what's up with that?
Well, basically, Lloyd's in London, they are very well known, established, insurance banking company, and there was also a brewery out there in Britain along with them. They have made an apology for their hand in utilizing our people as slaves and assisting them in building their corporations. And they have offered to pay reparations back to African Americans based
I
on
think
them
it's
being
the
so.
it was
And
the
they are
grandson of one of the founders that's running it now, right?
right. So
I
they're
pulled up
willing
the
to.
article though. You want me
Oh,
to?
you got it? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go in.
Okay. All right. Let's share again. Hang on a second. Un momento.
Okay, what's up, babe?
So while you're looking at that, so basically Ti is working to create a committee to sit down with them and negotiate the structure for reparations.
For their share of the reparations.
Right.
Yeah, he talking
Okay.
about talking about we got to get 10% of the company into perpetuity. Ten
Right.
percent of the company into the perpetuity should go to descendants of slaves, as well as $1 million credit line, like
Right.
no credit check, 1% interest rate, something like that. He was talking.
Right.
So go ahead. They go to the article.
Right. Lloyd's in London, they agree to pay the descendants of slaves. Yes. Um, Open letter.
He's saying it's not enough in his open letter. So over the weekend, popular Atlanta-based rapper and actor issued an open letter to Lloyd's of London, calling on the well-known insurance company to pay direct compensation for its role in the transatlantic slave trade. In doing so, T.I. called attention to the growing demand for reparations to be paid to the descendants of American slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he's asking
See,
for.
now that part right there, it gets a little bit confusing for me because okay, this is the London. I believe they're in London. This company is based in London, and their role in slavery involved, the Caribbean and all of that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's like the reparations that we talking about that the American government owes. This is a separate issue that TI is addressing. You know what I'm saying? Lloyd's of London, it was tied in with the slave trade, yes, but our gripe is with the American government as far as our reparations is concerned. They're the ones that owe, along with a lot of the companies and the corporations that were built off of slavery here as well. But I would think that Caribbeans, the
If they
Caribbeans
did
would be
business
entitled
in
to
the
this Lloyd's of
slave
London thing.
trade, they owe us money too.
Yes, I'm saying I believe that Caribbean people would be entitled to this as well.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
I think that applies to all of the descendants of slaves.
That's right.
Whereas the reparations that we're talking about with the American government, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? That only applies to foundational Black Americans strictly. Seven.
Exactly.
So RP, what about what T.I. was saying that
lights, huh?
You wanted to touch on?
Well, basically what Sincere was saying about the $1 million credit line, he also said that each of us should receive $1 million in cash, period, and 10% stake in any company that had anything to do with the enslavement of our ancestors. He said all of those corporations need to pay us annually, and we need to get a minimum $1 million cash.
Nah. T.I. is just talking about Lloyd's of London.
No. In his second video, he said that any companies that were involved in it, they need to give us a stake. Like he was going.
That's true. I didn't hear him say that, but that's true.
Yeah, he was going a little deeper because he said basically he's working to create a committee to basically talk to these various companies in regards to getting us $1 million apiece. That's his goal.
Okay, well we'll see.
Right.
It sound good. But much respect to T.I. I respect T.I. We don't always agree, but I respect the work that he's putting in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Much respect to T.I.
Now we had there was a town in North Carolina, right? That is like you said, they pumped.
That was another article. This is another one right here though with the mayors. The mayors back reparations that could cost 6.2 quadrillion or 151 million per descendant. Now, yeah, of course you are. And that's exactly what that headline. That's exactly what that headline is designed to do. It's designed to do two things. That headline is designed to do two things. For Black people, it's supposed to make us get excited, right? And say, "Oh, that's what's up right there." But for white people, it's supposed to make them feel like this is something that's unreachable. White people are supposed to be like, "Oh, no, we can't do that. That's going to bankrupt the whole country. You can't do that."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much. The cost is too much. Out of our taxpayer dollars, listen to the language that they use. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Where's the article start at?
You want me to go back to the top?
Yeah, go to the top of the article.
This is the beginning.
All right, right there. The nation's mayors. Let me see. The nation's mayors. Go ahead. You can read it better because you got
the nation's mayor on Monday backed the national call for reparations to 41 million Black people, a program that could cost taxpayers.
So that's what I'm saying. That's designed to deter the white taxpayer people to be like, hell no, not with my tax dollars. You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about your tax dollars. We're talking about all these corporations and companies that post billion-dollar profits on an annual basis. We talking about them.
It's going to y'all tax dollars too. Y'all gonna pay too. But this some bullshit right here. The U.S. Conference of Mayors released a letter backing a Democratic plan to form a reparations commission to come up with a payment for slavery. So now they switching up the language a little bit because before, they wasn't really talking about payment. They wasn't using words like payment and all that stuff, but they still kind of trying to talk around it. We recognize and support your legislation
as a
as
concrete
concrete
first
first step
step,
in our larger.
reckoning
as a nation, and a next step to guide the actions of both federal and local leaders who have promised to do better by our Black residents, said the letter from the conference president, Greg Fisher, mayor of Louisville. So they recognize and support it as a concrete first step in our larger reckoning as a nation.
So they're not saying that they support us getting any payments. They're saying that they support them putting together a commission to study whether we should get payments or not. That's what they're saying that they support.
Now, I thought, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, was this last year or the year before with Danny Glover?
Yes.
And there were a few of us. Didn't we go and present the case as a commission?
No, that was a pump fake. That was the biggest pump fake ever. When they did that thing with Danny Glover and Ta-Nehisi Coates was on there, and they had some young Puerto Rican dude. He looked black. He was trying to fake like he black actually, but he's actually a Puerto Rican dude. He had ended up getting exposed and all that. It was a big joke. All of them went in there, and each one of them, the key was for them to say, it's not about cash payments. Every single one of them, when they got up and spoke, it's not about cash payments. They were speaking against reparations. They claimed to be speaking for reparations, but as soon as you say it's not about cash payments, we ain't talking about reparations.
That's right.
Because they owe us cash.
That's right. How did they pay the former slave owners their reparations for the emancipation?
Cash and land.
They gave them cash.
Yeah, I think
but most importantly, okay, you promised all the free slaves 40 acres and the mule. What happened?
Let's do the math. And y'all can keep the mule. Let me get a couple of them bulldozers.
No, but what I'm saying is they never came through on the promise for the 40 acres and the mule.
Exactly.
So at a minimum, although that's off the table now since you fronted, but at a minimum, we should get whatever the value of 40 acres of prime real estate is per person. How about that? Or y'all figure out what we should get.
Do the
and
math.
We don't gotta agree on it, but
let's come up with a plan. They're paying. They're still paying.
Come up with.
They're still paying the Jews.
Who come up with?
Whoever got a problem with it. Because I hate that people always complaining and talking mess, but nobody is coming up with some solutions. Them same people talking about my tax dollars, but then how should we be paid then? With whose dollars?
They don't think we should be paid at all. That's the point.
Well, how are they paying the Jews? Where's that money coming from? They give them money.
Your tax dollars.
Exactly.
Your tax dollars. And they just gave them like a $60 billion check in the middle of the pandemic.
Exactly.
So miss me.
Exactly.
Miss all of us.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else about that? What else about it? But I thought this was pretty good here. It's about Cory Booker and Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. They're the ones who introduced legislation to create the commission.
Okay.
So they really didn't introduce it. They're giving them credit for HR 40. HR 40 been on the books, on the table since like 1988 or something like that. And it hasn't moved the muscle. They brought it back up when we started making noise about reparations. Now they're bringing up HR 40 as a pump fake. HR 40, when you really read what it's about, it does nothing. All it does is set up a situation for a group of people to get together and study and decide whether we should get reparations or not. And it has to go through all these different committees.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
Right.
What you mean? You got to decide whether or not we should get them.
Exactly.
There was a promise on the table for some compensation for what we had been through. What happened to that?
It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable.
What is there to study?
Exactly.
What
I don't understand that.
Right. What is there to study? You need to be coming up with a dollar amount.
And so that was the thing with Cory Booker. Remember, Cory Booker was one of the first front runners in the presidential campaign this time around and all that. And whenever he got pressed about the reparations conversation, it was the same thing. Well, we got to do something for all Americans, and that will
Right.
benefit black folks indirectly. It's going to benefit black folks if we do something for all Americans because black folks are Americans too. That type of talk, man.
You pay the Jews, you need to pay us.
Yeah,
They pay everybody. They
that's
pay
the bottom
everybody.
line. Yeah, that's the
Yep.
bottom line.
We just talked about how they gave half of Oklahoma to the Native Americans.
Yeah.
But you know
You
what?
know?
When they start coming, when those people really start coming, it's gonna be a problem. Because this land is not our land. This land, they land. From California to the
The numbers
redwood
are
forest,
insignificant.
this they
The numbers
land.
are insignificant. Most of the white people most of the people that's claiming to be Native Americans now are white people.
Right.
So
And they
the
make
numbers are insignificant.
they making false claims and they getting the benefits.
I think I
Underhanded.
saw something. Did you guys share that? I read it briefly.
Yeah, I shared it.
Yeah. And that's a problem. And we need to expose these people and these systems that are designed allegedly for minorities that white people end up with.
Yep.
Yeah, the $5 Indian hustle.
Yep.
$5 Indian hustle.
Anything else with this? Was there another article? And I could bring us back.
The other article was about the that town in Carolina.
North Carolina.
Come on, camera.
What's good?
Yeah. North Carolina.
Yeah.
Well,
So again, this is another pump fake right here. Watch. I'm gonna show you the trick bag. I'm gonna show you how the trick bag works. An historic move. Let me read the headline. In a historic move, North Carolina City approves reparations for black residents. So you see in the headline, they're talking about black folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the article. Asheville, North Carolina. In an extraordinary move, Asheville City Council has apologized for the North Carolina city's historic role in slavery, discrimination, and denial of basic liberties to black residents and voted to provide reparations to them and their descendants. Sounds good. The 7-0 vote came the night of July 14th. Hundreds of years of black blood spilled that basically fills the cup we drink from today, said Councilman Keith Young. Now, Councilman Keith Young is a black person. This is a black person saying this. Hundreds of years of black blood spilled that basically fills the cup we drink from today. Now, Malcolm told us to watch Negroes that when they're talking about this wicked system, when they say we, that old we sick master mentality. So that's always a red flag for me when I hear niggas talking about the wickedness that America has done to black people, and they're saying we, like we did it to ourselves too. That don't sit well with me. So he says it is simply not enough to remove statues. Black people in this country are dealing with issues that are systemic in nature. Cool. All of that is cool. I don't got a problem with none of that. The unanimously passed resolution does not mandate direct payments. Okay, so right there, that tells you you're not talking about reparations anymore. But
exactly.
Instead, it will make investments in areas where black residents face disparities. All right, let's see what you're talking about. The resulting budgetary and programmatic priorities may include, but not be limited to, increasing minority, that's the switch right there, increasing minority home ownership. So we know who qualifies as minorities. That's gays, which include white men, that's white women, that's Asians, that's Hispanics, that's midgets, that's everything under the sun. Everything under the sun is a minority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything except for a straight white man. That's the only thing that's not a minority. So soon as all of that stuff was black. Then they start talking about what they're going to do. Now they're talking about minorities. So that means it gets watered down and black people really get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the reparations pump fakes, man. And they're going to keep on doing this as it gets closer to election time because they know what we want. We're being very clear about what we want. So they're going to keep trying to throw these little decoys out there to get us off track, to get us to go out there and vote for nothing.
You know what? This is very upsetting, and it typically does get very upsetting to constantly have to address the ills that we face every day. And you know, like I said on the last episode, you know, when are we gonna be allowed to be tired and want to fight back? And when do they think we deserve to be treated fairly and equally?
Compensated.
Yeah, when? How long do we have to endure suffering before they take us seriously or just give us the respect we deserve?
We're going to have to take that, you know? That's something that we're going to have to take, all of it.
And that's I think how we have to present it. We've been asking for 401 years now. The niceties are out the door. It's no more trying to be nice about it. We're not asking you. We demanding. We telling you exactly what we want and how we want it. And you guys are supposed to empathize with what we've been through and be happy to grant it to us. What's the problem? What you think is going to happen?
What's going to happen is equality is a threat to them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because
you know what, superiority is in the eye of the beholder. You can still think you superior to me if you want to. That's your right. It is. Yeah, you still can think that if you want.
But if the field is even, they can't compete with you.
I always have feel like I'm superior to you. That's how I feel. I've been feeling that since I was 9 years old. You ain't better than me. I never showed them more respect than I show a black person. They both get that equally from me. But I still feel like I'm better than them. That's my right. You can't make me think about how I feel about myself no differently. So you can feel that way, but you don't have to block anything of my progress, having a job, having a place to live, having some decency, good education.
You shouldn't have the ability. You shouldn't even have that ability.
That's
exactly.
Right.
Not that
so
power.
That's what I'm understanding. What's going to happen if I know just as much as you? What is the problem with having just as much knowledge as you?
Right.
Just as much opportunity as you. What is going to happen? Some of y'all are going to end up in a struggle.
Right.
Y'all act like y'all don't know what y'all going to do if you have to eat peanut butter and jelly every day. Oodles and noodles. What is it? It has to be something. It has to be something in their minds. I don't know what it is.
We can look at sports as a metaphor, right? Because in sports, it's pretty much even. Everything is fair. Everybody got to play by the same rules. You know what I'm saying? A call is a call. Out is an out. A point is a point. You know what I'm saying? So they see how we dominate them on the field and on the court. You know what I'm saying? And they try to attribute it to, okay, they'll give us props on a physical level. You know what I'm saying? Because that's almost like primal, animalistic, you know what I'm saying? Being athletic and all that stuff. But really it's not. Really it's not. Because when you look at the athletic ability of our people, that's really brain power. You know, the mind controls the body. Mm-hmm. So when you see somebody, you know what I'm saying? You see somebody dribble behind the back, do a spin and jump up and do all that. That took a lot of brain power to think of that so quick of where you needed to step and how much pressure you apply. Right. That's not just some animalistic type of thing. You know, so they try to make it, they try to downplay it. They try to downplay it as that, like, yeah, y'all can beat us on the court, but y'all can't beat us off the court. You know what I'm saying? But if the rules were fair,
the playing field was even,
the same way it is on the court. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Again, it goes to a level of immaturity simpleness and ignorance. That's dumb to me. It really is.
Right.
We can have our own and you can have your own and we can coexist. It wouldn't be a problem. We police our own, we build our own, we do for ourselves on our own like we tried to do once we were free, but y'all didn't like that because our stuff probably was looking better than theirs.
Facts.
It just kind of boils down to jealousy at some level. That's how it appears because you don't have a valid reason. Because my skin is black, that's the most dumbest, stupidest, most retarded thing a person can come out their mouth as to why they don't like or oppress, won't hire you, won't allow you to get the best education you deserve because your skin is black. That's retarded.
Poor babies.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question.
I gotta get up out of here, y'all.
Okay. Now, real quick. Now, Black Lives Matter, the group, right? They just received $1.6 billion from corporations. Now, the question is, those corporations like Nike, Verizon, all these corporations, since the George Floyd situation. Now, in their minds, I'm trying to think, do you guys think that since these corporations have donated that money to this organization, do you think in their minds that's their form of reparations paid to us based on the George Floyd?
That's an interesting
That's
way to look
an
at it.
interesting perspective.
You see what I'm saying?
Interesting way to look at it.
But what they
also,
do with the money?
That's what I'm saying. They gave $1.6 billion to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and that's gonna go to LGBT and trans and all that type of stuff. That's where that's going.
Oh, they're gonna pay for
right
their operations.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure that they get the proper laws in place. They're gonna buy the proper politicians to get their agenda pushed. You know, they're gonna make some power moves, but it ain't gonna be for black folks. And the same corporations that we talking about, the same corporations that's funding them, are the same corporations that are trying to shut down Nick Cannon. These are the same folks. So you saying Black Lives Matter, when a black man speak a little bit of truth, you want to try to shut him down. So what y'all really about?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So when we go for these reparations, if we're fighting, a lot of these corporations could say that, like, hey, we already donate, we already gave money to you.
Yeah, reparations is not charity though. Reparations is not charity. Reparations is a debt that is owed. Right. It's not charity. It's not welfare. It's not a handout. It's a debt that is owed, but damages accrued. Straight like that. And y'all have been tuning in to the Master Elements podcast. I think that about wraps it up for the night.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so that when we upload new content, you are automatically notified. I hope you enjoyed this. We get really deep in the conversation. We look forward to your opinions and your comments. So place them in the comments below. And that's it for us tonight, right?
All right.
Yep.
Good show, guys. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Peace to the gods.
Master Elements.